Okay. All right, we have our piece here. And now what I like to do is to make the little stick that holds the thing, I like to use just a piece of it's like a little piece of brass tubing. It's not tubing actually, it's just a rod, a little piece of brass rod that I use, and then I just paint it, in other words. But it goes in here like this. Now, what I do, excuse me, is I take my little Dremel that I have here, and I kind of go over his shoulder like this. And I kind of drill at an angle. I don't think that's going to be big enough, but let's see. Rod fit in there? No, it's not going to be big enough, so let me, let me get a little bit bigger thing here. A little bit bigger drill bit here. La-da-da-da-da-da. I love this little Dremel to work with. And you just kind of go over the shoulder, kind of, and that's going to be big enough. Okay. Now, and the good thing about using these rods is that you can bend them to suit what the way you want it. Just like that, in other words, it goes right in there. Now, of course, this is way, way too long, of course, so we kind of measure it here, and I'm going to go ahead and bend, take my pliers, and just sort of bend this end just like that, in other words, okay? And I let this goes in here like, oop. Let me make it a little bit bigger. There it goes now. It'll fit much better. Perfect. Just like that. Now, in doing that, what I've got him doing is just sort of coming over the shoulder there, as you can see, and coming back, in other words. Let me bend it just a little bit more. Just right in here. Okay, that's not, this is gonna come. All right, let me straighten that out. That's not what I wanted here. You have to work with it. You just have to kind of work with it as it goes over the shoulder here. And what I want to do is come over here and cut this to about right here. All right. Cuts with a pair of needle nose. And you take it and it goes over the shoulder like this, but I want to bend it just a little bit more right in this area, in other words. I do it with my hand, it's not that big of a deal. So it goes over the shoulder just like that. And let me try to bend it a little bit more. I get it to where I want it to. Okay. There we go. Something like that. Then I want to cut a little bit more off, and I'm going to straighten it up. Okay. You can use wood, but I mean, it's just so much easier to use a rod of some kind, in other words. Now that's what I was wanting right there. And I'm going to straighten this out right here just a little bit on this end. I'll show you why. There we go. Just a tiny bit. And that's what I say. That's what's good about this. You can. Now I see how it goes over the arm like this. I mean, it goes over the shoulder. And I'll show you whenever I make the little deal. I used to make the little bags and all that stuff, but now I make these little satchels that are cute, that have a cute look to them, in other words. And you can paint this little brass piece right in there. You can paint that. Now the little satchel is like this. It's like a little suitcase. I've enjoyed doing the little suitcases, and it's going to fit. It's going to fit like that, in other words. Okay? And let me show you. Now the little suitcase is just a little, I mean, it's this like 1/4 inch, just like a little suitcase, in other words. And you can make it distorted or just like, well, usually what I do is I end up painting it black, and then I just add a bunch of paint to it, in other words, paint spots and things like that. But let me show you how we do this. Now I have some little wire. We'll make the little, I have this little, it's, let me get this right here. This little wire like this, in other words, it's very thin wire. And that's what I make the little, and easy to cut. I keep it in my little thing here. Keep it in my little container here for my Dremel and everything like that. Let me go back with the smaller one because this wire is very thin. Now what you want to do is take your little suitcase, just like this. Take your little suitcase, and on one side of it, you're going to drill a little hole in the middle, not real deep, and on the other side, you're going to drill a little hole. Okay? Don't have to be real deep. And you take your little thing, your little wire, and you just put it in both, just bend it and put it in both holes. Now, as you can see, that is stands up too high. That's way too high for what it should look like. It's very simple. We just take it, cut a little bit off each side, try it again. Okay, that's much better, but it's still a little bit too long. So we're going to cut off some on this side, cut off some on this side. I think this is going to be perfect. And we slip our little thing in there, and look at that. See? Perfect. Then we take our super glue. Whoops. Well, where did it fall? Went to get my super glue and it fell out. Okay. Well, this is wonderful. Where did it fall? Well, I'll be darned. Huh. Well, ain't that a kick in the pants here? I bent down to get my super glue. This fell out, and let me see. And I can't find it. Of course, that's not unusual with my eyes. Ain't no problem. We'll make us another one. We'll make us another one. It's not a big deal. Oh gosh. I think I got pretty much what I want here anyway. Oh, what happened? What do it? It fell on the floor. Fell on the floor. Okay, let's just, I think this one's gonna work when I first put it in. Yeah, there it is. Oh, this one's kinda, wait a minute. Okay. Okay. Let me cut another one here. Boy, this hasn't turned out to be the best thing in the world. All right. Let me bend this now. I still don't know where that other one fell. Isn't that crazy? I'm in the garage here, so no telling where it fell. Okay, now there's a little bit too much, so all we do is cut a little bit off. Okay. And this is going to probably work just fine right here. There it is. There we go, just like that. All right, now where's my super glue? I'm gonna keep this, there it is, so it doesn't fall off again. Because these things, until they're super glued, you just take a little super glue and put in there, and you let that dry, and that thing is perfect. Now, let me show you what I do. Okay, now the stick goes like this. Sorry, let me put this down here like this. The stick goes like this and it's glued into there. I'm not going to glue it into there. I usually paint it first because I don't like to try to paint it. I don't like to try to paint it while I'm until after it's, glue it in until after it's through painting. Because I don't like to paint it while it's on the thing. I'd rather paint it separate than put it in. Okay? And then, as you can see, the little suitcase goes, it fits, it actually goes behind him like this, okay? Goes behind him and sits there and actually glues to his back. So it's like this, like that, okay? So anyway, that is how you make the little. There it is. It's got. This is not it. It's not glued, so fits like that. In other words, fits in the back. You'll see when it's finished. In other words, it's and it actually glues to the back like that. So it sits on it like that. Okay? Okay, well that's how we work with the piece itself and make the little stick, and using wire is just so much better, or rods, so much better, because you can bend them the way you want to and everything like that. And when they're painted, they look good. They look like just wood and stuff like that. So Okay, well that is the way that we're going to do that, and I'll go ahead and paint the little guy, and I'll show you at the end. And this is our hobo out of a block of wood. All right, God bless now.